Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will present to you an article about how Russia is reacting to the new Polish president Karol Nawrocki, who was sworn in yesterday in Warsaw, as well how is the United States reacting to new Polish president. I will also would like you to take a look, because I have to tell you this was something that absolutely took me by surprise, how Polish people have participated in the ceremonies in Warsaw yesterday, how they have greeted the new Polish president, and how many people from all different parts of Poland have flew, took train to Warsaw, took Polish flags, and lined up all the way from the Royal Castle in Warsaw to the Presidential Palace, as the Polish president and his wife, the First Lady, were walking towards to move into the Presidential Palace. And I was very nicely surprised by how many times the new president, Karol Nawrocki, was approaching regular Polish citizens who, they spent money, they took their time off, and they went to Warsaw to be part of it. He stopped so many times. I watched this entire journey yesterday after I recorded a video for you. And I would like you to take a look at this, because you don't see this often. And I haven't seen anything like this for a very long time in Poland, if ever, to be honest. Of course, we had Polish Pope John Paul II when he was visiting Poland. That was enormous event in Poland, in many cities, as he was coming to Poland. And I was very little girl when that was taking place, but now we had this event, and I really would like you to take a look at that moment yesterday. However, I will start this video with Putin, with President Putin, and he's gonna say a few words about his potential meeting with Trump and maybe even with Zelensky. So as you know, Steve Witkoff was visiting Moscow, apparently, allegedly, on request from Kremlin, and there were some conversations between US and Russia. And Trump has commented about it yesterday, saying that it went great. Now, let me play what Putin has said. And before the end of this video, I would like to give you my opinion about the timing of events, because it looks to me that perhaps I am not too much off as far as this goes. Let's take a listen to Putin. This is from just, I think, few hours ago, about the meeting he's gonna have with Trump and maybe even with Zelensky.
Shevich, for God's sake, I'm sorry to interrupt such an intellectual excursion, but in light of the latest news about your upcoming meeting with Trump, who initiated it himself? Interest was shown on both sides. What was the word that was said in the first one? It's not. And can you clarify? Your assistant said that it will be next week, most likely. And where can I at least hint to the place? Many friends who are ready to help us organize an event of this kind. That this is one of the friends, the President of the United Arab Emirates. I think we will decide, but this would be one of the suitable, quite suitable responsible ones. And what about the Zelensky meeting schedule? I have already said more than once that I have nothing against it in general. This is possible, but certain conditions must be created for this. But to create such conditions, Flukasi. Thank you.
So there you have it from Putin. Now let's look at this article. This is from Polish portal that is addressing how Russia is reacting to the new president that Poland has. And I have been talking about this while back in a number of my videos. So here is the article that is from Polish portal. The echoes of the swearing-in reached Russia. This is how they write about Nawrocki. The Russian news agency Interfax, just before I continue, I think there is also Ukrainian Interfax, so I'm not sure how this goes. I'm not familiar with this agency. Reported on the swearing-in of Karol Nawrocki. The statement emphasizes that the new Polish president is wanted by the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs. Yes, this is actually true. He's on the list. It was recalled that he had repeatedly spoken harshly against the Russian Federation. He was also reminded of the high-profile case of the studio apartment. That's another story. I'm not going to go into it right now. Maybe one day I will address that, but let's focus on what Russia had to say. Karol Nawrocki took the presidential oath. The Russian media have already informed about the swearing-in of the new Polish president. Russia's international news agency Interfax quoted an excerpt from the first address of the head of state. It emphasized, that agency, that he promised to be the voice of the Polish nation. That's true. And Russia writes about the swearing-in. The announcement also lists several of Nawrocki's promises that he will fight illegal immigration and oppose entry into the Eurozone. I talked about it yesterday. It added that he announced blocking all attempts by the government to raise the retirement age. That's true as well. And Interfax reminds that Karol Nawrocki is on the wanted list by the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs in connection with criminal charges for participation in the demolition of monuments to the Red Army in Poland, we read. The agency also emphasizes that the politician has repeatedly spoken harshly towards the Russian Federation. It reminds that Nawrocki in March this year stated that he was not against breaking diplomatic relations with Russia. However, he does not mention that the then presidential candidate quickly withdrew from this declaration. Quoting now Nawrocki, in an ideal world, of course, countries such as Russia, post-Soviet, neo-imperial, cruel, barbaric, should not be the subject of diplomatic relations. They should be isolated. That's what Nawrocki said. However, he added that in the reality in which we live, maintaining diplomatic relations is necessary. So there you have it. This is coming from Russia. Now we look into United States, and then I give you my commentary. Let's look at the US, how US reacts. I don't know if you know, but I didn't know, and now I know. There was a Trump's delegation during the ceremony. It was an honor. Americans comment after being sworn in. So you have this lady. My American viewers are probably familiar with her. Her name is Kelly Loeffler. And she said during this visit, I emphasize the strong commitment of the US to our alliance with Poland, said Kelly Loeffler, head of the US delegation to Karol Nawrocki swearing-in. The politician informed that she had a short conversation with the new president of the Republic of Poland, and the member of the delegation took part in a solemn mass. The bond between the US and Poland has never been stronger, she concluded. I'm going to show you briefly this moment when she approached Karol Nawrocki, the new president of Poland, in a royal castle in Warsaw. So there's a little bit more here, so let me read this. In another post, she noted that the members of the delegation also took part in the Holy Mass at the Archcathedral of the Martyrdom of St. John the Baptist in Warsaw. We pray for the further peace, prosperity, and partnership between our two nations, she wrote. All right, so before we go to the ceremony that is in the royal castle. I will show you this lady there, and also I will present to you enormous crowds of Polish citizens with Polish flags that lined up all the way from the castle to the presidential palace, as Nawrocki, new president, and his wife were walking there, guarded by this. I think it was a nightmare for the security, because I watched this entire walk, and he was just unpredictable, because he was moving from one side to the other and trying to greet people and say thank you. But why I'm talking about it is my take on this entire situation. I think I said it a while back. I think I recorded this in one of my videos. I believe that the situation between Russia and Ukraine is coming to an end. I really feel this might be the end this year. I felt for a very long time, again, not being an expert, but I'm more intuitive and an observer in this situation, that having a new president in Poland, as well as having new government in Poland, because this might follow very soon, mark my words, I don't think Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland, is going to be there as the Prime Minister that much longer. I think the new president and the new government is crucial for the next steps that will be taken as far as Russia, Ukraine, and United States engagement in this. I think there might be some agreement as far as how the territory will be divided, what role Poland will play in it, and what role United States want Poland to play, because let's be honest, we all want every country to be sovereign, but we know how it is in reality, right? It shouldn't be this way. So I think the whole situation with the talks, with even the escalation of the conflict coming to the tipping point right now, it's also connected with the political changes in Poland. And I might be wrong, but I feel I am pretty close in this assumption here that November might be the month when we will see the final end to it. I really hope. Now, what's going to happen after that, I don't know. But as you know, we have the new president. Soon, very soon, I believe we're going to have a different government. And then there will be new rules, maybe new borders, God only knows. This is just my personal take on that, and this will make sense. If we're gonna see some meetings coming to fruition between maybe Trump and Putin officially, because I believe they have been in contact all this time. And who knows where Zelensky will be, because he's gonna be brought to justice, that's for sure. Tribunals, I don't know who's gonna host them and where, if he makes it alive until then. So guys, now let me present to you, without the sound, just the image, just the video. That walk yesterday was absolutely incredible. So here you see at the front of the royal castle, the old town in Warsaw. Just my computer is pretty slow. You see a lot of people have gathered. Sorry for the commercials, but I still have it. Maybe not the internet, maybe my computer, so I apologize for the inconvenience, but a little patience doesn't hurt. You see a lot of people have gathered here, but this is nothing. The entire road, the entire street was full of Polish flags and Polish citizens. I want to show you this lady here from United States. Who was representing the United States. Sorry guys, this is my computer. So here she is, Beautiful lady, really beautiful. So you can see them. This is the Royal Castle. If you're ever in Warsaw, I highly recommend you to go there and take a look. It's a beautiful building, very historical. And now let's go to Nawrocki, walking towards the presidential palace. So entire street that takes you, many of you, I know, many of you have been to Warsaw, so you have an idea of the distance. From the castle, this is a nightmare. This is absolutely nightmare for the security. So here he is, and he was moving from side to side, greeting people, saying hello, saying thank you. I was very, very closely watching those flags, and I was thinking, am I going to see any other flag from different country? And you know what I'm talking about, the yellow and blue. Well, actually, I saw, I think, 1 or 2 American flags, but it was closer to the castle. So as he kept walking, thousands, I mean, I don't know how many thousands of people have gathered, but this was enormous crowd on both sides. And they were just everywhere. I mean, it was incredible to watch. Polish flags, very happy people. There was something in the spirit that people really hope this will be a better president, and this will be president who is for the Polish people. I am absolutely aware about his approach to Russia, and this might be an issue, let's be honest. But you know, I don't think we ever had a president. Did we ever had a president that was not anti-Russia? I don't know. I just think this will be interesting if Trump and Putin shake hands and it comes to the deal and peace and all of it. And then we have the Polish president that also has to come to some diplomatic relations with Russia sooner or later, right? Unless there is a conflict, unless there is a war. So you can see the crowds. And then they approach, this is the palace right here. So I just give you a little bit like a tourist tour, guys. Apologies for the slow internet, but I think it has more to do with my computer. I might have to clean it up. Okay. I stop like this. All right. Now commercial. Sorry, guys. But you know, they have to make some money from those advertisements as well. So as you are in Warsaw and you ever come there, if you ever visit, this is very, very beautiful area. Right here is the presidential palace. A lot of people here on the other side. I cannot even tell you how many. This building on the right, it's a hotel. It's called the Bristol Hotel. It's one of the iconic hotels in Poland. Historical building. A lot of very important historical events took place there. So you might be interested in staying in there if you ever stay in Warsaw. But this is where the new president of Poland, his wife and family will be residing. They already are residing from yesterday. So that's all I have for you today. Before we end this video, I would like to inform you that tomorrow at 5 p.m. Warsaw time, I might try to have a live stream depending on how my computer works. If not, I will pre-record the video. And this will be with not one, but 2 ladies from the Promethean updates. Some of you probably seen my video with Barbara Boyd, who is fantastic. Tomorrow I have absolute pleasure to be joined as well by Susan Kokinda. So 2 of those great ladies who, this is Susan and Barbara, will be joining me tomorrow at 5 p.m. Warsaw time. I hope my computer is going to work. If not, we will record the video. So stay tuned and look out for it. We're gonna talk about a lot of very important things. Thank you so much for watching. I will attach all the links down below in the description box. Let me know what you think about all of this, about my not an expert predictions, because Poland has again, as always, because we're gonna have kind of Yalta 2.0 situation. I think Poland's gonna play another role in this Russia-Ukraine settlement. I don't know what's gonna come out of it, but the borders will change, that's for sure. Thank you guys. Thank you for hitting thumbs up, subscribing, sharing, leaving the comments down below, letting me know what you think. And to everyone who chooses and can support me on Patreon or on Locals or become the member of my channel or donate on PayPal, I just want to say huge thank you. It really supports me a lot and means a lot to me. With this being said, lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity, and I see you in another video. Thank you for your patience today with my computer, who probably needs a little cleaning. Bye everyone.